Hi everyone, welcome back to the Ultimate Summit 2016. This is the second week of our warm-up and a great opportunity to get to know those entrepreneurs and business owners who are presenting on the summit. I think that you are going to love the summit when you get here because I'm interviewing and it's just amazing what they have to share. But tonight is all about heartfelt, who they are. And we are interviewing the Empress tonight. And also, we're interviewing Dot Claire, our modern-day medicine woman. So this is going to be really exciting. But I want you to know first that this is sponsored by Maximize Your Wealth Now. And I'm your host, Shirlene Reeves. So let's get to know the panel first. So I'm going to call on CJ first. Hi, CJ. How are you this evening?
Great, Shirlene. How are you?
I'm just wonderful, thank you. Tell us a little bit about who you are.
Okay. Well, let me start with a question. Do you have a situation in your life, a story that's running your life, causing you a lot of stress, sleepless nights, anxiety, resentment? It could be a messy divorce or a job you lost, maybe childhood issues that you haven't resolved. What if you could change your story and it changed your life? I'm Carolyn C.J. Jones, forgiveness expert, speaker, coach, and creator of the Change Your Story, Change Your Life programs. I work with men and women, and we work so that they can access a greater place of peace, happiness, and joy.
Thank you, CJ. And CJ was with us last week, and she did an absolutely amazing, heartfelt interview that I know you are going to want to watch on forgiveness. And you can see that on my channel, which is just for last week. So it's right there at the top, very easy. So go to Shirlene Reeves, and you can look at my YouTube channel, and you will see CJ and Sumaya. They just did an amazing job last week. Very, very heartfelt, and it gave us all a great opportunity to get to know them. So thank you, CJ.
Thank you, Shirlene.
And Cynthia, welcome to the show, Cynthia. I'm so glad you're here. Tell us a little bit about you.
Thank you, Shirlene. I'm excited to be here, too. So I'm a global visibility expert and speaker mentor. So if you have a calling or a mission that's laid on your heart and you want to share it with the world in ways that Facebook can't hide your posts, then I would love to see you.
Thank you, Cynthia. That was wonderful. And welcome to the show.
Yeah.
And then we have Mary Knippel. Hi, Mary.
Hi, Shirlene. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm Mary Knippel, the Writer Unleashed and the founder of YourWritingMentor.com. I support women entrepreneurs to embody their message so that they can leverage their impact. What breaks my heart is that so many women feel that they're not seen and not heard. And with my 30 years background as a journalist, I just love being able to draw the stories out so that they can share their message with the world.
Beautiful, Mary. Thank you for that, and welcome to the show. And Sumaya, as I mentioned a little earlier, Sumaya was with us last week and shared a beautiful, beautiful, heartfelt interview. And I know many have seen it and just loved it. So welcome to the show, Sumaya. Share a little bit about you.
I'm so glad to be on the show tonight, Shirlene. I'm a soul alchemist, and I love working with divine messengers. And they are speakers and leaders who have a calling from very deep within their heart that they must say to the world and share with the world. And so I help them connect more deeply into their souls so that they can get the guidance and the unshakable confidence that they need to give their message.
That was wonderful. Thank you so much, and welcome to the show. We're really glad to have you again this week to support us. So now we have one of our stars, and I want to introduce Empress Iris. I just love having Iris on the show, and she gets to be the star tonight, and look at that smile. No wonder. Hi, Iris.
Hi, Shirlene. How are you tonight?
I'm so wonderful and so excited about tonight because I know you have wonderful things to share, and every time I interact with you, you really touch my heart. So I'm looking forward to the time we spend together tonight.
Thank you, Shirlene. This is exciting, and I'm happy to be here too.
Iris, you know, I'd really like to start by asking where you got the name Empress. I love that. And I know when I was at your event, I got to be Queen Shirlene, and it was really fun to walk on the red carpet as Queen Shirlene. Tell us about how you became an Empress.
Well, it was an interesting journey. It was truly, truly divinely inspired. I had a meditation, and I was thinking, now what is the name of my first event, my first retreat? And I got the download that it was Empress Day at the Love Spa. And it just seemed to fit. And then I realized that Empress, using the title Empress, really represents that I'm claiming having dominion over my life, having sovereignty over my choices, and that as I fully claim my power and my crown and my feeling of power, that it would inspire other women to do the same.
I love it. So Iris, tell us what it is you are doing to support other women out in your field of expertise.
Well, I just am so deeply touched by the fact that I get to share a discovery that I made, that joy, actually your joy, is a superpower that is an energy that opens the channels to divine love and guidance.
Mm.
And
That's
it's joy,
very profound way to look at it. And you know, it's divine love and guidance is so important in our lives. And it thrills me that that's what you bring to the table. So tell us what it was in your life that brought you to the position that you're in right now. I know you're a celebrity guest expert, and how did you come to being the person, the go-to person that supports others in inner guidance?
It came to me by a personal experience of feeling that I needed some answers of how to help my mom, who's 89, and some very serious decisions we have to make. And I didn't know what to do. And so more and more what I discovered is that when I am in my quiet, receptive, open place, I get incredible downloads. And I don't know why. God likes to do this at 4:15 in the morning, which I don't know. It seems to be, and I'm like, oh, I have to get out of my warm bed to do this. But there is such an incredible gift. And I discovered that when I tune into my connection to the divine, I am so much more able to do all the things I want to do, and my spirit feels uplifted. And there's all kinds of ways to do that, but the ways that are joyous and help me feel more authentic are the things that are different for me than for you, but they really get you connected to your inner strength, and that is a wonderful gift.
That's beautiful, Iris. That's just absolutely beautiful. And, you know, I know so many of us would love to get connected. I mean, I am, so I know about that, but there's so many of us other than me that would love to get connected that's in our viewing audience. And I was just wondering, is that something, was that connection developed over time for you, or, you know, how did you come upon it?
It seemed that there were times when I was stuck or feeling deflated, and when I turned on some music and started dancing, or when I had my cute little weenie dog Reggie, and when I was holding him or cuddling him or just looking at that outrageously funny, gorgeous body, you know, the little long thing, that when I was more in that uplifted mode, I was powerful. I was productive. I felt good about myself, and I was able to just light up my life and those that I came in contact with. So it kind of just came to me as a gift, and that's what I love sharing with my clients. This incredible gift that we have gotten from God, which is our joy.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, I know you like to dance, because you just said that.
I do.
But what other things do you like to do that create joy in your life?
There are times when what I need to do is slow down and smell the roses. I would say more orchids. I'm an orchid kind of gal. But what I've noticed is when I get too caught up in my to-do list and I don't have enough time, I shouldn't say that. Ooh, I shouldn't say that, Shirlene. I don't have enough time. It's that I don't make enough time to have quiet space, do my meditations. I don't feel as tuned in to the inner source. I don't feel as connected, as empowered. So I've learned this from a really visceral standpoint, a very personal way. So the meditation helps me. It also helps to get out in nature, which is really wonderful. And I think the most important thing is not to get stuck in feeling that I don't have enough time, I have too much to do, and I work on shifting that to looking at something like a wonderful photo of my mascot, Hippomena. And we laugh. And when I laugh, I'm lighter. And I'm more effective. That's just how it is, Shirlene. Is that true for you too?
Absolutely. I love to laugh, and I do it a lot. And, you know, now that you mentioned Hippomena, now we all have to see her. Do you have her close to you?
I do. I just happen to have her close to me.
You mind sharing her with all of us?
I'll see if you can see. There's Hippomena.
We see her perfectly, and she's beautifully decorated. She's quite adorned.
Well, you know, Shirlene, that's another thing that lights me up, is I have to admit this. Probably people know this. I like a little bling now and again.
Yes, you do. And you know that's the fun part about going to your events is, you know, there's no other time when I ever do bling except when I go to Iris's events. And I love it because she just puts it there for us, and it's up to us to be the creator, and I love that.
Well, isn't that one of the parts of being joyous, is to tune into your creativity and to have ways to express something that would be just your unique way. Mm-hmm. And there isn't any right or wrong. I know some people have told me stories. Oh, I had a client who told me a story that she said, I'm not creative. And we talked about it, and someone had told her that in 3rd grade. And she still was holding on to that story. And she made wild collages and beautiful things. So.
Yeah, and you know, I have a story like that too, because I was told in 3rd grade I couldn't paint. So I never, I mean, I've picked up a paintbrush, but it wasn't to be creative, let me tell you. And it really made a difference in my life. Because I think I could have. My mother was a great painter, and she wanted to teach me, but I said, oh no, I've already been told I can't paint. Do you have clients like that happens a lot too?
I do. I have clients who even are feeling they don't deserve to have a lot of fun, because if they haven't done this, and this, then they don't have time for fun. They have to do all the things on their list. And let's be honest, whoever gets all the things done on their list, right?
So I want to ask, does anybody on the panel have a question for Iris? Mary?
So, Empress, when you are going after one thing that people can embrace easily, how do you guide them to find their joy?
That's a good question, Mary. I think the first thing, even before they start to think about what they need to do, is to help them feel uplifted, knowing that they deserve to feel joy. Actually, it's really sometimes a beginning point for people to know they deserve to feel joy, that this is their birthright. It is truly a gift from God, and that they don't have to earn the right to feel joy. That's one of the places that some people need to start.
Beautiful. Thank you. That was beautiful. Great question, too, Mary. Does anyone else have a question they'd like to ask Iris, the Empress? Does anyone have your hand up? I just can't see you. Cynthia.
Nope. Go.
Go ahead, Cynthia.
Iris, I love how you always bring beauty and joy to everything you do, like just ordinary things. So would you like to share some of your tips for bringing extraordinary joy and beauty to ordinary things?
Beautiful question.
Oh, thank you for what you said, Cynthia. I do get lit up by the beauty in the world of, like you said, the ordinary, not just extraordinary, special things, but the ordinary. And that reminds me of something that I do for myself, and I suggest that might help my clients, and that's to make a list of what are their joy boosters. I call them the joy blockers and the joy boosters. So they need a joy booster when they're in a kind of a hard place. And I have made a list. Now, I need to tell you, they love me at the coffee shop. They do, because I have all these special papers I choose. There's there really is 3 different colors of parchment paper. So I use the gold parchment paper, and I pick great fonts, and then I have my list, and it's great fonts, and the laminating is great, because then this list can hang out in my purse. So it's beautiful, it's laminated, it's got these really kind of cool looking edges, and even just looking at it before I start to pick one, I feel all uplifted. My energy is in a good place.
Awesome. That was awesome. And Sumaya, I want to make sure you're not scratching your head.
It's hard to get my hand in the frame.
I couldn't do that either.
So I wondered, because Iris, you had mentioned earlier that one of the keys for you when you were just getting stressed out was you had to slow down first before you could really connect to your joy. And I know that's a problem I have too, is slowing down. And what advice, or what do you do for yourself?
I need to remember to put. I used to have me days, but now I'm in pre-launch mode, which is lovely and wonderful. So I don't have a whole day for a me day, but putting in some time that is just reserved for me in that moment, and it's not scheduled. It's not something I have that I'm going to do with someone else. It's something that at that moment I can think, what do I feel like doing right now? I've carved out this time. And that is such a treat. And then I'm really in tune with myself at that moment. It's not planned. What do I want to do right now that's going to make me feel happy and joyous and alive? And I want to include in the joy not only the exuberant joy, which, as you can see, I love, but also that kind of peaceful, meditative joy, including that too, or something that just will open my heart by hanging out in my garden and working on pruning a bush that needs some TLC.
Awesome interview, Iris. You did an amazing job. And I think everybody got a really good idea of who Iris is and her beautiful soul. And I want to thank you, Iris. You did an amazing job.
Thank you, Shirlene.
You're welcome. And so now what I want to do is I want to talk to our modern day medicine woman. And she's going to introduce herself now and tell you how she helps those in the field. Hi, Dot. Welcome to the show. I'm so glad you're here with us tonight.
Well, I'm delighted to have this opportunity too, Shirlene. Thanks so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Share with us who you are.
Well, I am Dot Claire, and as you already said, I am your modern-day medicine woman. And I'm also a change agent for peace and harmony. So most of us would like to be peaceful, but many of us aren't. And so how do we get there? You know, what I notice is that I love working with women with heart matters. You know, that sometimes the women that come to me are heartbroken because they are stuck. They are stuck in maybe a messy divorce or in a corporate job that they really dislike, or they're overwhelmed with a fear and losses that have happened in their life, and they just don't know how to get through it. Well, I've worked with women for 35 years as a nurse, and in nursing, I've worked with women's issues. So I've worked with birth, death, and rebirth. And I've also been a healer, and I'm a shaman and the author of Authentic Alignment. Well, as I mentioned before, I see myself as a midwife. And I've midwifed thousands of women through their path of pain, fear, and resistance to change. And I help them resolve those issues so they can move forward with more confidence and be happy again, basically. You know, we get really stuck. So what if you could accept your past, be at peace with what is, and be excited about your life again? You know, recently, someone just said to me, I feel deeply honored. I felt deeply honored when she said that she called me the acceptance guru. And it was like, wow.
So, Dot, what does it mean to be a modern-day medicine woman? I've never heard that term before.
Well, you know, the pioneer medicine woman is someone from the past. The modern-day medicine woman blends many different philosophies. And so I blend the Eastern philosophy as well as the Western medical philosophy that I learned from nursing with the Native American traditions. And by doing that, I help ground all those belief systems into our bodies so that we can manifest in the world, so that we can make changes in the world, so that we begin to respect our bodies and respect others.
Grounded in, what does that mean? You put your heel on my stomach and ground it?
Yes, some say from being from the Midwest that I have more of these grounding genes in me because I'm more earthy. So I think of it in terms of being earthy, but the fact is that many of us have our spiritual ideas from our heart up, and we're not connected and able to manifest because we aren't connected to our bodies in the material form. And
I see now. That makes sense.
Yeah. Being grounded, yeah.
So, Dot, you work with ritual, don't you?
Well, I do, Shirlene. And, you know, that kind of came about by accident in some ways, but I have the rich Catholic background that is based on ritual. But when I was young, I didn't understand it. And so now, you know, what I've done is I've seen the richness of it. And you know what? I picked a medicine oracle card just before we started, and I love it. It said, it is time to recover the sacred. And that, it was like, wow, that to me is ritual. You know, that sacred ritual is different than the ritual that we do every day. By when we get up in the morning, we brush our teeth, we go to the bathroom, we have coffee. But sacred ritual is always done with an intention to change something.
Wow, that's beautiful, Dot. An intention to change something. So I want to, if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to talk about changing something that you supported me in. And it was, I moved into a new home, and it just didn't feel like home to me. No matter what I did, it just didn't feel like home. And I had just moved to San Diego, and you came to visit me, and I said to you, if I remember right, I said to you, it doesn't feel right here. Something's not right. What do I need to do to move things around? And you took that on, and just, it was amazing as I watched you do this. And then we moved furniture around, and we had ceremony, and it was very intriguing because it did change how my home felt. It didn't feel like home before. It felt like a house. But now it feels light and airy, and I want to be here. And even my bedroom is really homey and comfortable. And I just found it amazing. And I was wondering, Dot, when is it that you decided that ritual would support you in your life?
You know, when I began practicing rituals was when I was going through my divorce. That was very stressful time. And my daughters were being shuffled back and forth between me and their father. And I began to have a ritual. Every time they came home to me, we sat in a circle, lit a candle, and I let them speak about what was happening and how they were, and we honored each other, we hugged each other, and we lifted each other up.
Mm.
And that helped them get through a really difficult time, as well as myself. And so that was kind of the beginning. And then later I was introduced to a ritual with a friend of mine, and we began to do the seasonal rituals. And I really saw a connection to the seasons of our life and the seasons of nature. That one of the seasons in your life is the change that you made when you moved.
True.
You shifted from being here to being in a new environment. And so a home needs to be blessed so that it holds only your energy. That we invite all the other energies, and they aren't negative and they aren't bad, just like we don't have bad feelings. It's more that they need to be transmuted and let go of so that you can be the steward of your own home.
That's so beautiful, Dot. And I watched things like that while I lived on Maui for 5 years, and I watched them blessing businesses, blessing new homes. They were at babies, whatever it was. We were always gathered under a tent blessing somebody or something. But it was very different from what it is that you do. And I would love it if you would share a little bit about what you do for yourself and then how you share that with your client.
Well, just recently I've been dealing with health issues. I've had a cold, and last night I thought, well, I checked my house in terms of the energy, and it wasn't bad, but it wasn't high either. And so I wrote an intention, and I did a space clearing for myself. Now, you know, it doesn't have to be anything big. It was the intention. And so I love ringing my bell. So I break up the old energy, whatever it is, and that shifts the space. And I pray. And so all of those pieces are elements of it. I chant, you know, so that I give it voice. What is it that I wanted? I wanted to be healthier. I wanted to feel more alert and alive. I wanted to lift my spirits. You know?
And I know with me, when we did this together, you used oils with it also, which just really filled the room with fragrance. It was really beautiful.
Well,
Is that something that you do frequently, is to use the oils?
Well, I generally do, because oils lift your vibration. So in order to be both healthy, both of spirit and mind, to raise yourself to that elevation of joy like Iris talks about, is the oils help that, because the vibration of oils are above the vibration of human beings. They start at 65 and go to 350. Whereas our vibration, if we're totally healthy, is 65. Well, I don't really know anybody that starts at 65. But, you know, so it's the raising of the vibration. So the sounding also raises vibration, just like breathing raises vibration. So all of those things lift both our spirits as well as the energy of our space.
Beautiful. So does anybody on the panel have a question for Dot? Iris.
Hi, Dot. I want to know if you've had clients who have wanted you to clear their space, and in the process, they start to feel not resentment, but more anxious or concerned that you're going to shift their environment. What do you do with that?
Well, since I'm not doing anything, it's all through the divine. The divine knows what that person can handle. So in that case, if I noticed a change in them, we would talk about it. I would try to encourage them to share their feelings, what's going on with them. Recently, I just did a space clearing for somebody who was moving into a new space. And she walked in the door. She hadn't seen the apartment before, but she was given the key, and she said she wanted to leave. It was like, oh my God, it was so heavy. She was afraid she made a mistake. And so we cleared her space with intention. We did a ceremony and we cleared her space. And it took a lot of breaking up of energy because she felt like she was choking. It could be somebody else's energy that was blocking her ability to feel at comfort in the space. And when I finished, I asked her to walk outside and come in the door. And what she experienced was so different. She felt lifted up, she felt lighter, and she walked into the room that was almost choking her. And she said, oh my gosh, it feels so much more open and airy. I can go in here now.
Wonderful. And I noticed that Sumaya had her hand up. Sumaya?
Yes, Dot, I was wondering, sometimes, it doesn't work for you to be clearing their space physically. So how do you help someone clear their inner space in their thoughts or in their heart? Something that's going on that's just maybe cutting them off from who they really are.
Wow, that was a really good question, Sumaya.
Yeah. Well, as a healer and with all the practices that I have been trained in around energy work and healing work, I can do long distance healing. And so I just have to hold the intent and do the work. I can do the work over the phone. And some of it is talking, and some of them to get more clear about what their intention is, and then being able to be quiet in the space as I do some healing work.
Beautiful.
And I've done it over the phone. I've done the winter solstice ceremony over the phone, and it was extremely effective in terms of each of the participants were able to get centered and able to feel the shift and to move into the new season with greater ease.
So, Dot, what you're saying is that even if they aren't in your neighborhood or they're not right around you, they don't have to drive or fly to you. You can actually do it on the phone?
Well, one of the ways of doing some of that space clearing on the phone is actually having a client draw their plan of their home. And I can douse for clearing.
Wonderful.
So once they get clear about what it is they want, that we can let go of unseen energies, because that's the Eastern tradition. It's all about the mysterious, working with the unseen energies.
Well, Dot, you've given us so much insight into who you are and how you work with your clients. Do you have any final thoughts for us?
One of my thoughts might be is that ceremony doesn't have to be complicated, and that each person could begin to develop their own. The first part is to be clear about what their intention is. What do they want shifted or changed? And then if they lit a candle, chanted a prayer, it can be an English prayer. I love the Ho'oponopono prayer, and that is based on, I love you, please forgive me, I'm sorry, thank you. And yes, I'm all of a sudden not doing that, right? But at any rate, it doesn't matter. But I mean, it's whatever the prayer is that comes to your mind that speaks to your heart can be used. And so beginning to do that with each time, like I heard Iris, she went and did Qigong. She did movement. I could do dance. It's however I move my body and put a sound to it. so that it's vibrating out into the universe, that I'm open to receiving change.
Mm-hmm.
That's a beautiful way to end this interview, is that we're open to receiving change. That's the number one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to thank the whole panel. We ran a little bit long tonight, and I apologize for that. But I want to say thank you to all the panel for being with us today. And I want to say thank you to Iris. You did an amazing job, Iris. Thank you for your insights and letting us get to know you. And then Dot, you were wonderful as well. Actually, the two of you really complement each other, because you're both speaking from a place that has a lot of inner wisdom and inner guidance. And I know that everybody's going to be looking forward to hearing your interviews that we do on the summit and learning more about you and more about how you can work with others to change their lives and transform what it is that they are challenged with at this time. So I just want to say thank you, viewers, for watching us tonight. I hope you learned a lot and enjoyed this actual show that we had to hear together. So I look forward to seeing you next week on Monday night. We'll be featuring more of our experts that are going to be on the Ultimate Summit 2016. So for now, your host, Shirlene Reeves. See you next week.